Well, a new, tougher fourth tier of coronavirus restrictions for London and much of southeast England has come into force. The planned relaxation of coronavirus rules at Christmas has been scrapped, and people will only be allowed to celebrate with members of their own household and support bubbles. Joining me now live from Oxford in the UK is independent journalist Will Godley. Will, we're of course just days away from Christmas. How have the new restrictions been received?
Not well. Not at all well. These restrictions came into play at midnight on Sunday morning, and Londoners and many people in the southeast had just hours to receive this news before it came into play. Many of them responded by evacuating their homes, their places where they're living, which came into force to be Tier 4, and went on trains, on buses, drove to their family members elsewhere in the country who aren't in Tier 4 and who can still see people on Christmas Day. But as you were saying, that 5-day easing off of restrictions is no more. And now people can only see their family on Christmas Day. So the mood in the UK is quite bleak at the moment. And of course, variant of the coronavirus, which they're saying is 70% more transmissible. So many different boroughs in the UK are trying to prevent this new variant from reaching them from the southeast of England, which is why here for places like Manchester have said anyone who's come from London in the last few days does have to self-isolate to prevent the spread of waiting their houses.
Before the restrictions came into place on Sunday night, or Sunday morning rather, it's looking unlikely that they will have been able to curb the spread of this new variant.
And Will, several European nations have now banned travel from the UK. Are there any concerns in terms of getting goods across the border?
There are. Of course, this was a concern we had facing a no-deal Brexit at the end of the year, and the government has spent the last few years planning for this eventuality of the UK closing the border to the EU, but they're putting their planning into practice just a few days early, with the UK being unable to travel to the EU and many goods unable to come in from Europe into the UK. And so things like fresh food and vegetables and Christmas gifts are currently stuck at ports in the EU, unable to get across to the UK. And in the UK, at the main port of Dover in Kent, there's lorries queuing up and parked in airports, spare spaces where the government has been able to find places to park these lorries to stop chaos happening on motorways whilst they're waiting for this 48-hour prevention of UK travel into France. Of course, that is the main travel access and trade route from the UK is the Dover to Calais crossing. 40% of our food comes from that travel route. So it's concerning, and supermarkets today have said that they are going to run out of fresh produce, notably fruit and vegetables, in the coming few days. And when Christmas is just around the corner, that's awful timing.
Yeah, absolutely terrible timing. Has there been any indication from Boris Johnson when these restrictions might be able to be relaxed?
Boris Johnson announced this morning, on Monday morning, that he was holding a press conference this afternoon, and that just occurred just before I came on air. And he was hoping to announce the fact that he'd reached an agreement with the French President Macron that they would be able to carry on trade. And that press obviously wasn't able to reach an agreement by the time that press conference was announced. And what his messaging was more to the European nations rather than to us Brits, saying that trade is fine. That's the government's response. They think it's not such an issue to have trade going to and from the UK. and Boris Johnson wants to get it up and running as quickly as possible. But the French obviously very worried about this new variant of coronavirus, and it's very interesting to see what impact this might have on whether we get a no-deal Brexit in about 10 days' time now. I think the deadline is for that. So whether we get a no-deal Brexit or not, obviously it's the worst possible timing for the government trying to reach a deal with the EU and now trying to deal with this crisis on their hands.